You don't ever see play way. Now you, they provide the means. Now you, they provide sponsorship. Now you, they give your enemy the financial capacity to kill you. And that's some very strange thing. It happens for eye. It happens for face for Ambazonia. Una no go believe say Brasserie du Cameroon. They make 200 billion every year only for Ambazonia. They don't turn to picking them and who brother and sister into drunkard them. 200 billion.
Les Camerounais ont bu l'année passée, chiffre de brasserie, 600 millions de litres de bière. L'équivalent d'un fleuve, c'est-à-dire le Vouri, du début jusqu'à la fin. La question c'est, est-ce qu'on peut développer un pays avec des soulards?
Just imagine that kind of money, 200 billion, where they make all over Ambazonia. Case done dey for court for the past 5 months for Norway, where they don't arrest Dr. Cho Ayaba, leader of Ambazonia War of Independence. They know they want to let it go. Die minute, that way George all say and say no, this is so don't tie for their neck. They don't do all kind of research. They don't interview all kind of man. They say and say, he never commit no war crime, no crime against humanity. It is just fight for rights of the people. They don't get no case against it. The police prosecutor for Norway, where they represent Norwegian government, he tie grass. That way George doesn't give a release Ayaba. Because nothing no devil hold against the man. The man will be no bad man, never commit no crime. Last. Proof la commence in France devil backdating. So we talk na true no. Say na France we devil backdate with the catch Ayaba. That way George don't say all case no there against this man. He gave a release the man. Prosecutor, he dey stand me baba for front George. He does say, but Ayaba no be give correct answer. That way they be asking why he ban brasseries. Which day Norway get interest for brasseries du Cameroon? Which day Norway get interest for brasseries du Cameroon? Dr. Cho Ayaba, the man. The man be talk and say, we need to put a cost to the occupation. Ambazonia need to be understand. If Ambazonia they be follow the ground from the start for the war, massa, independent from countries. They go stand for back chief pastor them. How prosecutor for Norway they try to protect France the interest for inside Cameroon? For Ambazonia, where doctor don't ban brasserie product for Ambazonia. Prosecutor for Norway millions of miles away. They ask why doctor ban brasseries for Ambazonia. So now see on France video back auditing. Cameroon is bankrupt. Dr. Cho a policy for this war don't come to fruition. It don't work. It be talker. Let us put a cost to the occupation. We see with 2 eyes so clear. He bad to take that prosecutor, he vexed us, he go appeal him. You see another woman, France don't bribe that woman. So Norway, they claim human rights, wait, they also bribe them. They don't bribe Norway. Norway don't disgrace itself. Nothing no go stop Ambazonia independence. Nothing. Would work at the go.
Live video. You know day. You know your life.
Small work at the go. We will get that independence. Cameroon will ever come back. All that Brazil put out no. Any man will see how they say Brazil put up. From Fako to Ndian to Lebialem to Meme to Manu to Coupe Maninguba. Donga Mantung. Bui. Ngoktuja Mezam. Mentum. The cash man. They say Brazil product. If they burn a whole bar, me no blame no man. We no go sponsor our enemy for can commit genocide on our people. A word to the wise. He correct na correct.
Fellow Amazonians, good morning, good afternoon, good evening across the globe, wherever you are. This is Pascal Kiki, the Logistic Chief of the ADF. So I come here today purposely to ask some critical questions. I'm here to ask some questions. I want us to ask some critical questions because for the Norwegian government, they think that they can sort of silence us and keep us quiet. So I want us to ask some critical questions, fellow Amazonians. So the Norwegian government thinks that when they lock up our leader, they are going to silence the revolution and keep us quiet. Now, is Norway a functional state? Does Norway function under laws? Does Norway have, a legal system? The question we have to ask Norway is, why do they pretend globally and call themselves defenders of human rights, champions of democracy, champions of free speech, defenders of people's freedoms? Why do they pretend globally and call themselves, people who stand for human rights? And at the same time, they are violating the rights of other people. Now we ask these questions. Does Norway have a legal system where you can just pick up somebody and jail the person indefinitely? Is that the type of legal system that exists in Norway, where you pick up someone and jail the person indefinitely? You don't charge the person, you just lock him up and keep him there indefinitely. Normally, in a state of law, when you arrest somebody, you levy the charges on the person, and you give the person the opportunity to defend himself in the courts. The leader of the ACN, Dr. Ayaba, has been jailed for over 6 months in Norway. And up till now, they have not defined the charges. We don't know who laid charges on Dr. Ayaba. The Norwegian government has never revealed to us the person that laid charges or reported Dr. Ayaba to them. The Norwegian government has not even openly proclaimed the charges. The only thing we heard from the Norwegian government is that Dr. Ayaba ordered for the closure of brasseries in Ambazonia. Bring him to court, let him defend himself. You can't lock somebody up indefinitely. Is that part of the Norwegian laws? Is Norway that claims and stands for human rights, is that how they exercise laws? Or is it because Dr. Ayaba is a black person? Is Norway openly exposing their level of racism, their degree of racism? Are they defending their card of racism white supremacy globally? Where you pick up somebody because of the color of his skin and you lock him up indefinitely, is that how Norwegians treat their citizens? You cannot pick up somebody and jail the person indefinitely. What are his charges? Give him his chance to defend himself on the charges that you are bringing on him. If the only thing we have heard from the Norwegian court is because he shut down the brasseries to Cameroon, bring him up, charge him, and judge him. You can't lock somebody indefinitely. Does Norway think that when you jail our leader, you're gonna silence the revolution, our quest for freedom? Does Norway think that when he jails our leader, we're gonna stay quiet? We're gonna fold? If that's a trick that you have in your trick bag, think twice. Is Norway showing that it's a barbaric state, a lawless state where you can arrest somebody and you jail the person? What are his charges? The ones we have heard is because he shot down the brothers to Cameroon. Give him his day in court to defend himself. You cannot lock somebody up indefinitely. And then you champion, you parade yourself as a civilized nation, a civilized state of people who uphold human rights. Is Norway trampling on the rights of Dr. Ayaba because he's a black person? The same Norway that fought tooth and nail, put up a heavy resistance against the Nazis when their state was occupied. And they are depriving us from fighting for our own human rights. Norway pretends and stands for human rights, claim that he's helping the refugees in our territory, has an office in the northern and the southern zones, pretending. That's those things that they call NGOs. They are intelligence gathering cells. Don't they see what is going on the ground? When did Norway call out like to Cameroon for jailing people indefinitely in their dungeons? When did Norway call like to Cameroon for picking up people in a foreign nation, collaborating with Nigeria to cross international boundaries and bring up somebody that's a refugee in Nigeria? When did the Norwegians call that out? But then you pick Dr. Ayaba and lock him up without charge. We have not heard his charges. You have not given him his day in court. You have kept him there indefinitely for 6 good months. Is that how civilized nations behave? Are you doing this because he's a black man? Are you doing this because he's different? Does Norway take their own citizens, white citizens, and jail them indefinitely without giving him a day in court? What is his crime? Who levied charges on him? Who reported him? We don't know that. What is his crime? We don't know that. You keep him indefinitely for 6 months and counting in your dungeons. Are you carrying the global card of racism white supremacy? Any Norwegian and a Norwegian government, shame on you. Don't stand anywhere in the world and talk about human rights. Don't stand anywhere in the world and talk about freedom of speech. Don't stand anywhere in the world and say you are defending democracy. You are defending people's rights. You expose yourself as an oppressive nation. Picking and choosing the laws and the rules that suits you. Then you come and you claim how you stand for human rights. You are a civilized nation. We are not going to sit quiet. We will keep on asking Norway, what is his charges? Give him his day in court. If you have a functional system, let him defend himself. You cannot lock up somebody indefinitely without giving him the opportunity to defend himself over what charges you have for him. If the charge that you've heard so far is because he shot down Brazil Cameroon, give him his day in court. Let him defend himself. You can't detain somebody indefinitely, violate his human rights, and then you stand and claim to the world that you are a defender of human rights. And I ask, is it because he's a black man? Are you openly exposing your racial white supremacy card globally? We'll call it as it is. Release Dr. Ayaba if you have nothing on him. If you have something on him, give him his day in court. You cannot defend lock him up indefinitely. If you call yourself a state of law, a functional state, that's what functional states do. You don't pick up somebody and lock him indefinitely. Charge him for whatever you have to charge him and give him his day in court. But 6 months is too much for you to deprive someone of his human rights, his freedoms. You fought tooth and nail in the 40s. You fend off the Nazis. You took risk. You had cells that fought to overcome oppression, occupation. And we are fighting for our own selves, fighting against the occupation of our land. But then, you kneecap us. You kneecap us by locking our leader without any charges, indefinitely for 6 months, depriving him of his human rights. Shame on you. You think you keep our leader in your jail and we'll sit quiet and then you language? No, we'll keep on asking you. As long as the AGOC still lives, or as long as I, as a member of the AGOC still lives, we'll keep on putting out audios and asking you, what is his charge? Release him. If you have nothing on him and you have nothing on you, as we know, release him. Save faces. Stop participating as an oppressor and exposing your nature or globally. Release Dr. Ayaba. We'll keep on asking that question to you. I will keep on calling you out. Either for your discrimination, racial discrimination, or your two-tier laws. One meant for other race of people, one meant for you people. And then you stand up and call yourself defenders of human rights. Till you release our leader, we'll keep on asking you that question. We'll keep on calling you out. We will not rest till our leader is out of your dungeons. You are depriving of his human rights. You are depriving of his freedoms. And don't stand anywhere and play this agent of double speak that you defend human rights and freedoms. Did you question why they were jailed? Did you question why they picked them up in Nigeria, crossed international boundaries and came and locked him up in Cameroon? Is there no violation of international laws? We didn't hear you question that. Gone are those days when you think you have that, you play that paternalistic tendency on Africans. We'll keep on asking that question until you release Dr. Ayaba. Stop exposing your hypocrites. Stop exposing your hypocrisy globally. Release him. You can't jail him indefinitely without any charge, and you don't give him his day in court to defend himself. It's a crime against humanity. You are violating his freedom, his human rights. The Norwegian government, you are perpetrating crime against humanity and violating his human rights. Release Dr. Ayaba. We'll keep on calling you out to do the right thing. Act rightly. Stand for what you preach. Fellow Ambazonians, there's also a couple of things I want to ask us as a state of people. A lot of us have cheered Traore across the world, Ambazonians across the world, and within Ambazonia. Oh, Traore, he's doing a good thing. He's fighting blood and soil to take back the sovereignty of his nation. All of us are jubilating, shouting. We are happy. Even to like Cameroon citizens, they're happy about what he is doing. This question is for Ambazonians. One of the strategic things that Ibrahim Traore has done, is having a sovereign fund where they contribute and put resources in that sovereign fund, purposely to defend their homeland. They pay the contribution that they can be able to arm their patriot volunteers. That is even different from their armed forces in defending their homeland. That is equivalent to Ambazonian liberation tax. They pay to defend their homeland. The Burkina Faso people, they pay to defend their homeland. They have a sovereign fund. I think as of now, the first quarter of this year, they have contributed close to $40 million. Everybody is paying to defend their homeland. the land of the upright people. A lot of us are cheering Traore. The policies that the Ambazonian Governing Council puts is totally in alignment with what the Burkina Faso people are doing. We talked about liberation tax that every Ambazonian should be chipping in their own once a year. But the Burkina Faso people are doing it on a monthly basis. They have a certain percentage of a salary that they put it to defend their homeland, to defend their freedoms, to bring peace in their land, to fend off the jihadists. When the AGOVC brought this same, we bring in the strategy of contributing to your liberation tax. It's the same as the money that the Burkina Faso people are putting in their sovereign funds to buy weapons and to arm their volunteers, the patriot volunteers, to defend their homeland. That's the same policy that the AGOVC did put on ground. Ambazonians, we are jubilated that Traore is doing good in his country. Those are some of the policies that the AGOVC has brought into Ambazonia. We can be able to beat the people of Cameroon hands down if we just stick to one basic thing. Contribute your liberation tax. Liberation tax is not I would call it a foreign thing. It's not a foreign concept. Nations, the Burkina Faso is doing it. Mali is doing it. So when we ask Ambazonians to contribute a liberation tax, it is something that is going to help us to defend our homeland and push these invaders and occupiers out of our land. That's the same thing that Burkina Faso is doing. They have a sovereign fund that they contribute strictly to arm their patriot volunteers to defend their homeland. Equivalent to the liberation tax that we have asked Ambazonians to contribute so that we can be able to arm our fighters to defend our homeland and push the Barbarians out. People thought it was a foreign concept. We're not creating that. It happens and Burkina Faso has a revolution. There's a revolution going on in their land. That's the same thing that we are undergoing. We are playing this under the same playbook. Contribute your liberation tax. It is a moral and a civic responsibility. People are jubilating. Oh, Traore, look, he is doing a good job. And that's the same thing that we want to really bring for Ambazonia. The only way that he has realized that he can fight the jihadis that have been supplied by the West, endless weapons, is making sure that they have a sovereign fund that the people continuously contribute so that they can buy weapons to be able to fight and defeat the jihadis that have been sponsored by external forces. That is their own liberation tax. And I do it on a monthly basis. We ask Ambazonians to do it once a year. And people thought we were creating a foreign concept. Ambazonians, contribute your liberation tax. If you want freedom, that's the least you can do. Contribute so that our patriot volunteers on the ground can fight and push out these terrorists in our territory. Let the Cameroon terrorists in our territory. That's the same thing that Burkina Faso is doing. The same thing that Mali is doing. We are bringing revolutionary solutions to solve our problems. Long-lasting point. We're kicking out these people. Make sure that we have consistent funding for our fighters. You never fight a war. War is costly. Freedom is costly. But we're not bringing foreign concepts because other forces in other areas that are fighting a revolution, they are applying the same things that we are proposing to Republic. We are proposing to Ambazonians. Pay your liberation tax across the board. I did the math. We can raise $1 billion. Sorry, 1 billion CFA. We can raise 1 billion CFA annually to arm our fighters to be able to take the people Cameroon out of the land. If everybody is paying his liberation tax, it's not a foreign concept that the AGOVC brought. I'm saying is Burkina Faso, Mali, they are doing the same thing. We don't come up with a foreign concept that's not working. And theirs is working. Why not apply? We said men should pay just 10,000 CFA per year, annually. Women 5,000 annually. Diaspora is $100 a year. African diaspora $50 a year. That's all we are asking. Contribute your liberation tax. It's the same thing that Burkina Faso, Mali, they are doing. to give security in their land. We need it. We don't really ask much for. We're not asking much for Ambazonians. Contribute. We have seen the positive effect of it since it initiated liberation tax. It's not a foreign concept. Other liberation, other lands that are in a revolution, they are doing the same thing that we are asking Ambazonians to do. And I want to say this. Pa Aben Mukong, he fought and died fighting for our freedoms. Pa John Lutumbe, he lived his entire life fighting for our independence. I see some stupid write-off from some people that, Ambazonia was a project, it's a failed project we should forget about. No. We are never going to relent our effort to fight for our freedom, to fight to free our land, to have a sovereign nation. We will never give up. Never give up. Those people who are talking about no, those are the ones who came as profiteers. We don't want those type of people to even stand in nation building, because they're the one who will bring that bad attitude in our land. We will fight the last man standing. We will fight till Republic Cameroon leaves our land. We've already defeated it, just for us to put certain things together. You see, the more they try to continue to hold us, the more their land is disintegrating. Look at their roads. Look at their streets. Look at how dysfunctional the nation is. They will disintegrate. We've been saying from the age of the more they try to hold us, that land is going to disintegrate. And it's going to implode. For them to keep their nation, they should get out of Ambazonia. So the concept of liberation tax is a requirement in Ambazonia. It's not something that it's an abstract concept. Other places we are screaming, oh, Traore, Traore. That is what he's implementing in his country, to be able to have resources to fight the jihadists and grant peace and stability in his country. Mali is doing the same. So when we ask you to contribute liberation tax, just a little token. People think we are just like we are just being crazy. No. I want to say this. The freedom of Ambazonia will also free the Republic of Cameroon. This fighting that we are fighting them is a stepping stone to freeing them. Their slave masters, France, is yanking their chains to fight us. We are going to free them also. We'll break loose from that chain, and we're going to free them also. One thing I want to say to you, Ambazonians, is this. You see the desperation that France is putting across Africa. They are very desperate. They have lost a whole swath of territory with all the resources there. Their economy is tanking. You heard one of the presidents said, the day Africans rise up and kick France out of Africa, France will devolve into a third world nation. They have lost a high amount of, their freebies in Africa, in the AAS states. Their economy is in a serious crisis. That's why they do everything possible to cling on to whatever territory they have in Africa. We should be ready to go the extra mile, cover all 9 yards to push these people out of our territory. We must not and will not relent to fight for the liberation of our land. People have fought more than 30 years to free their land. Those who cannot fight, sit down. Don't clog the pathway. La Republic of Cameroon, we will never have entered into that nation. I ask some people, I hear some people talking of, I have had some conversation with some people that are talking of, they're bringing up some concepts of, how do you call it, maybe a confederacy or whatever. Where did we start off with these people? Can you ever, as Ambazonia, trust like the Cameroon for any way, in any way, shape, or form? A country that is still under chains and their slave master is tightening the noose on them. You think we can, after having shed our blood, toil, is a curse for those of us still living in this generation. It's a curse for us to betray our valiant fighters and those that have gone before us. It's a curse. We should have that tenacity to fight and be ready to give in our all, even our lives. Homeland or death. That is where we stand. We should be ready to fight, give in our all. The worst thing that can control someone is fear. Don't be afraid. You are afraid, you live as slave. Fight and own your destiny. Fight for your sovereignty. No African nation, all these Francophone countries, the only 3 African Francophone countries that are free now are the AES nations. They have their sovereignty now. We should be able to fight wherever we are. Fear is pitiful. Being frightful for what? We see some of us in people's lands. They fought to build their land. They fought blood and tears. They shed it to build their land. And some of us come and we're leeching off in that land. And when it's time, when it's a call of duty for us to fight for our own land and preserve our future generations, so want to just stay and leech off from other people's sweat and suffering and stay quiet. It's unfortunate. All of us that are out, let's understand. We see the turns, you see how the tides are turning. Wherever you are, you feel you are comfortable, you are not. The only place as Ambazonian can be comfortable and have a peace of mind is being in Ambazonia, staying in Ambazonia. That's the only place you can find peace. As long as you're out of that land, you won't find peace. No matter how comfortable you are. Look at where we live in the United States of America. They are revoking people's TPS status. They are revoking people's TPS status. Some people who thought, oh, we are settled. Even some of us who have green cards, even some of us who have citizenship in some of these countries, laws can change, things can change. Where do you call home? You think you are comfortable wherever you are out of Ambazonia? Think twice. This regime that we have in South America is showing you that you might think and feel comfortable that you are a citizen in a nation out of Ambazonia. They can change laws and yank your chain and you're out of that land. There is no place like home. This regime in South America is telling us something. Don't shoot your head in the sand and think that you get up and the problem. No. It is showing us that you can become a citizen out of Ambazonia and they can revoke your citizenship. Where you go to? Fight for something that you own. If the shit hits the fan, if you want to stay out, you know you are going home. Look at the state of Israel. Wherever they are across the world, they know the moment they set their feet in Israel, it is home. They have a homeland, they have a state. Fight and keep own Ambazonia. If you want to stay out, know very well that if the shit hits the fan anywhere across the globe, you will go home. But do the work now. This is where the rubber meets the road. We are fighting for a just cause. That's the first thing you have to understand. It is our real estate. It is our land. It is our possession. It's our God-given right to fight for what we are fighting for. We are not stealing. We are fighting for something that was robbed from us. And that's the only place. As long as you're out of Ambazonia, that's the only place you can find refuge and consolation. Fight to free it. Like I said, they have revoked some people's TPS, temporary protection status in the United States of America. It shows that wherever you are across in this world, if you claim citizenship and think you are comfortable, they can still revoke your citizenship. And where will you go to? A stateless citizen. That's why you have to secure your own homeland now. So that whatever is happening as the world is changing, the geopolitics of the world is changing, fight and make sure that you are clearing a place where you can call home. You think it cannot happen? They have pushed out of US citizens, born and bred US citizens out of America. This regime has done that. So when you sit there, you think you are comfortable. Think. The only place you can call home is Ambazonia. I'm saying to all Ambazonians, the only place you can call home is Ambazonia. Fight and make it free. Even if you are out when the shit hits the fan, you can run back home and stay safe there. This regime is reminding you of something. You might feel comfortable wherever you are. The only place you can call home is Ambazonia. I say this to all Ambazonians. Think. Get back and recommit into this revolution. Let's free homeland. Don't blink. Continue to contribute to the Liberation Tax Fund. Those who want to contribute also to the diplomatic push, contribute. There's nobody who's going to come and help us. The world is defined by interests. And we have to fight for what is rightfully ours. Freedom is never handed. You seize it. And that's what our villagers on the ground are doing. They are seizing our freedom. Some people think this is a movie where everything is supposed to be action, action. No. It's like a wave. It goes up, it comes down. It goes up, it comes down. But it's moving forward. That's how the revolution is. This is the least liberation fight is. If you are tired, stay out. Let the patriots keep on fighting till freedom comes. It's not marked. This fight, the battle for the liberation of Ambazonia is not marked by time. The time is when we are free. The greedy ones who came in and thought that they could cut us, and so that when they free a homeland, they will go hold positions and start feeding fat from those positions. Those are the dirty ones that are calling, say, oh, let's throw in the towel and give it so that we can go get any crumb for like the Cameroon. That was not what we were fighting for. That was never what we were fighting for. We're fighting for total and unconditional liberation of Ambazonia with our sovereignty. That's what we have been fighting for. And we will keep on fighting for. Stand firm, nationalists. Stand firm, our soldiers on the ground. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. We owe it to our future generations. We owe it to our valiant soldiers, our brothers and sisters who have fallen in battle. They fell in battle for total and unconditional freedom of Ambazonia. That's what we who are still living, that is our task. That is our duty. That is our responsibility. We owe it to them. And we owe it to the future generation. We are the connection between those that have fallen to liberate Ambazonia and our future generations to come. We owe this to them. Keep fighting. And I still remind all the diasporans, things can change out. Don't feel comfortable that you are citizens in countries where you are and you think that you sit down nothing. Things can change out. This administration is showing you that things can change. They can yank your citizenship out of your hands. They can change laws and things change. Where will you go to? Where will be your homeland? fight and free homeland so that if anything is happening in the future, the years to come, you have so we can go and rest and be at peace with yourself. Homeland or death. Don't blink. Stay focused. I will keep on asking Norway the question. What is your rationale for jailing Dr. Ayaba? If you have something on him, acquit him. Let him go. Let him go. Like our leader always tells us, don't blink. Stay the course.
Shake, shake, no day, our voice will resound. Ambazonia's people will never back down. The chains are broken, the pain is gone. Freedom is ours, and a new day has dawned. Shake, shake, no day, no day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, shake, no day. Amazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. From the rivers to the peaks, our strength will grow. The dreams of our forebears in us brightly glow. Our heroes, heroines, their fire still burns. We honor their fight with the justice we've earned. Shake, shake, and I win. No day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, shake, no day. Amazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. We are building today for the children to come. No more tears, no more sorrow for anyone. Our flag will rise high, its colors displaying. Ambazonia's bright future starts today. Shake, shake, over. No day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, shake, no day. Ambazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. We'll shake off the fear and cast out the doubt. Our spirits will rise, there's no turning out. Freedom is our anthem, justice our creed. Shake, shake, no day. With love we will lead. Shake, shake, but that no day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, shake, no day. Amazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. Shake, shake, no day. The future is bright. Ambazonia will shine like a beacon of light. With every heartbeat, our message will be sent. Shake, shake, no day, until the very end. A cruise boy to sing.
You don't ever see play. Now you, they provide the means. Now you, they provide sponsorship. Now you, they give your enemy the financial capacity to kill you. And that's some very strange thing, eh? It happen for 4 eye. It happens for face for Ambazonia. Una no go believe say Brasserie du Cameroon, they make 200 billion every year only for Ambazonia. They don't turn to picking them and brother and sister into drunk at them. 200 billion.
Les Camerounais ont bu l'année passée, chiffre de brasserie, 600 millions de litres de bière. L'équivalent d'un fleuve, c'est-à-dire le Vouri, du début jusqu'à la fin. La question c'est, est-ce qu'on peut développer un pays avec des soulards?
Just imagine that kind of money, 200 billion, where they make all over Ambazonia. Case done there for court for the past 5 months for Norway, where they don't arrest Dr. Cho Ayaba, leader of Ambazonia War of Independence. They know they want to let it go. Die minute, that way George last year and say no, this is so don't tie for their neck. They don't do all kind of research. They don't interview all kind of man. They say and say, he never commit no war crime, no crime against humanity. It is just fight for rights of the people. They don't get no case against it. The police prosecutor for Norway, where they represent Norwegian government, he tie grass. That way George doesn't give a release Ayaba. Because nothing no they hold against the man. The man will be no bad man, never commit no crime. Last. Proof la comment c'est na France they for backdating. So we talk na true no. C'est na France we they for backdating with the cash Ayaba. That way George don't say all case no there against this man. He gave a release the man. Prosecutor, he dey stand me baba for front George. He does say, but Ayaba no be give correct answer. That way they be asking why he ban brasseries. Which day Norway get interest for brasseries du Cameroon? Which day Norway get interest for brasseries du Cameroon? Dr. Cho Ayaba, the man. The man we talk and say, we need to put a cost to the occupation. Ambazonia need to be understand. If Ambazonia they be follow the ground from the start for the war massa, independent from countries. They go stand for back chief pastor them. How prosecutor for Norway they try to protect France interest for inside Cameroon. For Ambazonia where doctor don't ban brasserie product for Ambazonia. Prosecutor for Norway millions of miles away. They ask why doctor ban brasseries for Ambazonia. So when I see on France we do back auditing. Cameroon is bankrupt. Dr. Cho a policy for this war don't come to fruition. It don't work. It be talker. Let us put a cost to the occupation. We see with 2 eyes so clear. He bad to take that prosecutor, he vexed us, he go appeal him. You see another woman, France don't bribe that woman. So Norway, they claim human rights, wait, they also bribe them. They don't bribe Norway. Norway don't disgrace itself. Nothing no go stop Ambazonia independence. Nothing. Would work at the go.
Live video. You know day. You know your life.
Small work at the go. We will get that independence. Cameroon will ever come back. All that Brazil put out, no. Any man will see how they say Brazil put up. From Fako to Ndian to Lebialem to Meme to Manu to Coupe Maninguba, Donga Mantung, Bui, Ngoktuja Mezam, Mentrum, the cash man, they say Brazil product. If they burn a whole bar, me no blame no man. We no go sponsor our enemy for can't commit genocide on our people. A word to the wise. He correct na correct.
Election in English Cameroon. No election. No election in Saudi Cameroon. No election. Any of my brother will take the foot to one go vote. Make them that strike up or down. No election happen for you. And took a now you think I like put that for this people. One love like one love the people them. What people they don't ever love with. So no election. Which election wrong? Of what do? The people they do the election, who come get inside? No election. You care, you like me, or you don't like me, or you hate me, or you don't hate me. And no Englishman or they will feel like me. No Englishman. Can never happen now. I think they will change one Englishman to that country. Our boys they don't do their best. They have done their best. Here you no come for here to give me small access. And the people that gonna so you don't get hard for fight. You don't get hard for even stand up talk. For some you don't quite lock your toilet. You know what lock your toilet. One continue the talk. Say stop speaking nonsense, stop speaking nonsense. Who's nonsense?
Welcome to ACN.
Election in English Cameroon. Not election. Not election in Southern Cameroon. No election. Any of my brother will take the foot to one go vote. Make them that strike and go down. Make anything happen for you. And took a now you think I like put that for this people. One love like one love the people them. But people they don't ever love we. So not election. Which election wrong? Of what do? The people they do the election, who come get inside? No election. You care, you like me, or you don't like me, or you hate me, or you don't hate me. And no Englishman or they will feel like me. No Englishman. Can never happen now. I think they will change one Englishman to that country. Our boys they don't do their best. They have done their best. Here you no come for here to give me small access. And the people that gonna so you don't get hard for fight. You don't get hard for even stand up talk. For some you don't quite lock your toilet. You don't want lock your toilet. One continue the talk. Say stop speaking nonsense, stop speaking nonsense. Who's not?
Ouais les gars, on va sur le terrain. Maman gars on a le bé. Ouais les gars. Ouais les gars. On va sur le terrain. Maman gars on a le bé. Ouais les gars. Ouais les gars. On va sur le terrain. Maman gars on a le bé. Ouais les gars.
Election in English Cameroon. Not election. No election in Southern Cameroon. No election. Any of my brother will take the foot to one go vote. Make them that strike and go down. Make anything happen for you.
Ouais les gars.
Now you think I like put that for this people. One love like one love the people them. But people they don't ever love we. So no election. We are going to do which election wrong? Of what do? The people they do the election, who come get inside? No election. You care, you like me, or you don't like me, or you hate me, or you don't hate me. And no Englishman or they will feel like me. No Englishman. Can never happen now. I think they will change one Englishman to that country. our boys, they don't do their best. They have done their best.
Shake, no
Yeah, yo.
day.
You come for educate me, small access. And the people that want to you don't get hard for fight. You don't get hard for even stand up talk. Also, if you don't quite love your toilet, you want to love your toilet. One continue. Say, stop speaking nonsense, stop speaking nonsense.
Freedom is ours, and a new day has dawned. Shake, shake, no day, no day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, shake, no day. Ambazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. From the rivers to the peaks, our strength will grow. The dreams of our forebears in us brightly glow. Our heroes, heroines, their fire still burns. We honor their fight with the justice we've earned. Shake, shake, now win. No day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, shake, no day. Amazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. We are building today for the children to come. No more tears, no more sorrow for anyone. Our flag will rise high, its colors display. Ambazonia's bright future starts today. Shake, shake, over. No day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, shake, no day. Ambazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. We'll shake off the fear and cast out the doubt. Our spirits will rise. There's no turning out. Freedom is our anthem, justice our creed. No day, with love we will lead. Shake, shake, the day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, shake, no day. Amazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. Shake, shake, no day. The future is bright. Ambazonia will shine like a beacon of light. With every heartbeat, our message will be sent. Shake, shake, no day, until the very end. The cruise boys sing. Under the moon, where they vex, your whispers they jam. Dreams scatter like ashes for night where they cold. Break, scatter like branch for storm. Now bad people hand innocent they suffer. Oh mama, Ambazonia, your heart they pay. Tears they fall like a river, like the sky they cry again. IDPs and refugees they walk out. Widows they hold space where they empty, them cry go they echo. For the shock where they hollow. Dr. Cho, Sissiko and others, them train them but them no fit bow. Them voice now like thunder, where they under dark clouds. World where the town face go far, no care, he they go. You leave your children, they suffer. Them stories they untold. Oh mama, Ambazonia, your heart they pain. Tears they fall like a river, like the sky they cry again. IDPs and refugees they walk out. Widows they hold space where they empty, them cry go they echo. For they talk where they alone. Inside these shadows, small fire they grow. Freedom they call, where hopelessness been the show. For every heart, resistance they burn. Ambazonia go stand gidigba, you no go fear night. Oh, mama, Ambazonia, your heart they pain. Tears they fall like the river, like say sky they cry again. IDPs and refugees they walk out widows, they hold space where they empty, them cry go they echo. For this hug go they hollow. Mama Ambazonia, the scars they talk story of courage where no they shake. Even when wind they blow scatter, for morning light we go there. The children go they sing, a freedom way go fly high, like wings for sky. Ooh yeah, the Ayaba, no vex better go follow. Ambazonia, now oh na na. Son, Una conspiracy, we go in. I'll break boys to the world for the ground. Wanna flag there.
Fellow Ambazonians, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're welcome to the show. I can put it updates related to Ambazonian revolution and the happenings surrounding our revolution, our quest for independence. So today, still I'm privileged to be joined by the spokesperson of the Ague of Sea, my fellow comrade, a personal friend, comrade Lucas Asu. You are welcome to this live show, and I know we've always promised our people that we'll always try to continue to keep them updated in what is happening in our revolution and also other aspects out of Ambazonia that is also tied to our revolution. We made that solemn promise, and you and I are trying to keep to the bargain of our own promise. My fellow brother, you are welcome to the show. How are you?
We did. We actually made a promise to our people, and we're doing our best to live up to that commitment and expectation.
Okay.
I'll be fine. I'll be very delighted for joining you for this program. I'll be very delighted for once again make we chat with our people, get a discussion with our people, and continuously for empower, educate, and help our people them that they stay informed and on top of the things that they happen locally and internationally where they affect we all.
Okay. Brother, I hope say my people, I'll really apologize for my people there. I mean, I get my title for the show, but my fellow comrade, well, Una Noi, I know you don't need to introduce yourself, Una. So let's just dive straight into the topic of discussion for this week. My fellow comrade and my fellow brother in the quest for our liberation.
Yes, sir.
Now that we can technically say that we have given the Republic of Cameroon a deadly blow.
Authoritatively.
Yeah. We can authoritatively say that we have given the Republic of Cameroon a deadly blow on using earmarks like them not having control of our territory. They can't walk or command freely in our territory. Our people, Ambazonians, have the ground. They have the territory to themselves. So with that said, that we have authoritatively given them a deadly blow in the quest for our independence. So now we see them masquerading around that they are trying to conduct elections. What is the significance of what they are trying to achieve? And secondly, with the desperate nature of their state, we look at, you see their streets, you see their healthcare collapsing. They don't even have anything in the name of healthcare. You see how devastated that country is. So now the issue is this: what are they trying to prove? Trying to conduct elections? And secondly, periodic, where is the finance coming from for them to masquerade this or create this charade of an election? Where is the finances coming from, and what are they trying to prove? Can you just throw more light in that and what their intention is and what they are trying to, continue to, play around with? Just give me a take about that.
Cameroon as a state does not really exist as a state. It's being controlled and governed by different sets of cartels. Centrally, Mr. Biya is just there, someone with a name and a title.
Yep.
In terms of existence of a state,
yep,
there's nothing holding it anymore together.
Yep.
The strategic defeat that the Ambazonian people, through their sheer will and relentlessness, through their sheer determination, through their bravery, their courage, and sacrifices in terms of treasure and blood,
yep,
they have prevailed over Cameroon. The strategic defeat that Ambazonia has delivered to Cameroon has disintegrated Cameroon. There are many factions, even within the CPDM regime itself.
Okay.
There are factions within CPDM, the regime of Mr. Biya, that have come to the conclusion that they have lost the war in Ambazonia. And they want to negotiate. There are factions, others within the same CPDM, within the same Bia's government, that are profiting from the war, that are making billions and billions and billions and billions from the conflict, from the crisis, from the humanitarian disaster, and they want to prolong the conflict. So there are conflicting centers of power and opposing centers of power within the same system. We saw this manifested itself during Canada pre-talks, when Mr. Bia and the colonial prime minister, that faction accepted the reality on the ground, that the occupation governance structure has been dismantled. And the best thing for them to do is to find a way to save face. That's why they got engaged into the Canada pre-talks. And the moment they tested who we are, how determined we are, how sophisticated we are, how united we are in Canada, they backed out. Mr. Bia didn't back out. The opposing forces within the Bia's government that are profiting from the war, they took advantage of Mr. Bia's old age, his inability to think and to make decisions. They took advantage of the colonial prime minister weaknesses, and the opposing forces led by Ngongo and Rene Sadi and the Minister of National Defense. They opposed Mr. Bia and publicly made a public statement that they had nothing to do with the Canada pre-talks. That was a huge embarrassment for Mr. Bia. That was a huge embarrassment for Diongote. Their reputation was shattered. But they couldn't come back and challenge the deputies, because that will mean there are two structures within the same government. So Mr. Bia swallowed the embarrassment and the disgrace and lived with it. And nobody's fired, because they are trying to maintain a false sense of unity, which does not exist. So what's happening in Cameroon right now is that strategic defeat is very painful for them. So they create another episode in order to shift the narrative called elections. Election is just an injection, an introduction of a new narrative in order to cover the defeat, in order to mask the defeat. It's to divert international attention from the conflict to the elections. So this is the game. It's a psychological game. It's a diplomatic game. It's a game of narratives. This is what this game is about. So whether the election holds or it doesn't, the international community, by the way, has already informed and warned Cameroon there should be no election unless they've brought the conflict to an end. But Mr. Bia and those surrounding him, being who they are, obviously they are very stubborn, because negotiations to them means capitulation. Negotiations to them means accepting that they have been defeated. Negotiations to them means they were wrong. Negotiations to them means they could all end up in jail because of their ability.
I have a quick question for you, and I don't know, maybe just following through what you're saying.
Go ahead, man. This is a conversation.
What is the angle of La Republique of Cameroon's handler France in the Canadian talks? What was their? Do you think that the Canadian talks could have taken place with their consent, or was it just the fact that La Republique of Cameroon is fractionating, and people are doing things by themselves for themselves? Because you and I know that the main handlers of La Republique of Cameroon is the France. So what do you think? Is it like some sort of a renegade team that decided to say that we're going to end this thing on our own terms without consulting our masters? Or what do you think about that? Or were they trying to play a fast one on us, or what?
They were not. Look, Ambazonia, we are very sophisticated sets of people. We are very sophisticated as people. We're very savvy. They were not playing any fast one on us. They tried with the Swiss process to play fast one on Ambazonians.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it failed. We've proven how serious we are, how sophisticated we are, how savvy we are, but also how ready we are as a people to engage in things that are transparent, are credible. Okay, Canada will not risk its reputation to satisfy France.
Okay,
Canada will not.
Okay.
It's a different game.
Okay.
Okay. So Cameroon must have consulted France. They must have consulted France. As much as France has an influence, the ultimate decision will be made by Cameroon.
Okay.
If it's going to favor, number one, Cameroon wants to save face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So an outright defeat will be very catastrophic to Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd rather save face and be reintegrated into the international community because they have been so isolated. So Canada was a place for Cameroon to save face, that they have become reasonable. They want to show that they have become very reasonable, that they are flexible, and that they are open to new ideas to end the conflict. Because as an occupying power, the measures, mechanisms, actions, and steps they have taken have fallen short in resolving the conflict. That's why the international community has to step in. Yeah. So Canada was instrumental in showcasing the unity of Ambazonia, the powerful argument we can make. Cameroon has no argument when it comes to this conflict.
Yep, you're right.
Cameroon has zero argument.
Yeah.
Mr. Biya, Diongote, Atanganji, their Minister of Justice, their Minister of Defense, their Minister of National Security, none of them.
Even France, all of them, they don't have any argument.
None of them can logically, eloquently, with clarity and assertiveness, state Cameroon's claim on Ambazonia. They can. Even during Canada talks, Cameroon cannot make an argument to show its proof and claim over Ambazonia. They can't. That's why they are using force. That's why it's a military occupation.
Yeah, just a follow-up on that.
Sure.
Recently, we have learned that there are some, I mean, the international community is trying to figure out how to, bring this conflict to a negotiated settlement. And we know for sure that some players, some key players within the Ambazonian territory, or not within the Ambazonian territory, that are from Ambazonian extraction, they have been meeting with some, or having some meetings, either in Africa, in Motherland. So I can't specifically pinpoint the country, but it seems as if it was in South Africa. So and with that said, I don't think you as a spokesperson, the AGOFC, was an active participant in that particular meeting. What can you say about that meeting? What is AGOFC stance as far as working together and collaborating with all other factions? And what do you think was the outcome or the purpose of that gathering that we heard that took place recently in the motherland Africa?
The Ambazonia Governing Council is the center of the Ambazonia liberation struggle. The AGOFC is the nationalist pillar of the Ambazonian struggle. The AGOFC has made several attempts to work with others to forge a common front. It is still the responsibility of the AGOFC as the nationalist core of Ambazonia to bring others together. We succeeded during Canada pre-talks to unite, bring others together, think together, work together, and achieve a common result for the Ambazonian people. The AGOFC is not the only Ambazonian movement that is standing for the liberation of Ambazonia. There are many actors. Some are very lightweight actors. Some exist just by name. And so some are consequential. And so the AGOFC is a consequential actor. It's the most consequential actor.
Okay.
We were aware of the meeting, which I think last week we all came to the conclusion. We all they said it was in Ghana, but videos have emerged from South Africa. It looks like the meeting actually took place in South Africa.
Okay.
We were aware, we were informed, but it was not the best way for AGOFC to move its top leadership to send its top officials to the continent for security reasons. It's not safe at this moment based on what happened in September, the leader of the AGOFC being arrested and detained, and is now in the 6th month. We understand that the AGOFC is the most consequential movement. Its key leaders are a direct target. Cameroon wants to carry out a decapitation operation on the AGOFC. And so sometimes meetings like this are set up. I'm not saying this one was set up. Sometimes meetings like this are set up as a bait. For example, the vice president of AGOVC travels to Ghana, he won't return to Ireland. Or let's say in South Africa, he will be assassinated. Okay, he's not in the same rank and file as others because he's a consequential deputy leader of the liberation. Others are very lightweight. Yeah. They have no consequence, either to Cameroon or to the international community. They're just lightweight actors. So we are very careful in how we engage in things. Yeah? But we give our blessing for the meeting.
Okay.
Secondly, the meeting was to showcase the unity of the IG. The IG as a movement from 2017, when Siseko Ayoktabe was arrested, the founding father of the IG. That movement split. I think now we have what? 5 IGs. And so the division within the liberation struggle stems from the various factions of the IG in terms of the infighting, in terms of the orchestration. Someone like Elvis Kometa, right, is primarily responsible in the chaos within the IG. He's still there. He came from SCNC, but then he started playing a greater role based on the accumulated history of the SCNC. They transferred themselves mostly into the IG. So he had a central power there to play. So he played a key role in bringing Sako in, played a key role in stripping powers from Siseko Ayoktabe Julius. And he did that twice. Yeah. So all of this chaos, they need to tame this chaos and find a way to reconcile. So it was great to see Chris Anu, to see Marianata, and to see Yerema for the first time in the same room. It was great. This is good. This is positive for Ambazonia. This is really positive because the AGOVC, it's a very stable organization. So it is good to see that stability in other factions that have been so divisive. So this is very positive for the Ambazonian people. What is the outcome? This was a confidence building mission. It's basically to gain perspective from seasoned experts that have been involved in such complex political dealings.
Okay.
So that they can share experiences and then people can start to prepare what to expect should in case a negotiation is called up by the international community.
Okay.
What should be the outcome? It wasn't like there was something there that will radically change what's going on between Ambazonia and Cameroon. No. It's a way to show that people are reasonable, people are flexible, people are coming together, people are thinking together, people are working together. So it is really good to see that those factions of the IG can work together with SCNC and Dr. Akwanga, and we welcome that. And we know now that through that, we all can forge a common front. The AGOVC, the Vice President of Ambazonia Governing Council, Dr. Cho has been working on collaboration for even before the Canada talks, post-Canada talks, even right up to when he was arrested and detained. In February, the Vice President of Ambazonia Governing Council, the Deputy Leader, created a commission and appointed, I think, a 3 or 4 persons commission in charge of collaboration with other movements, and they have been working on that. So.
Okay. Yeah, because it's good that you bring it up because we don't want. I just want to. I wanted to ask you just to find out whether you know, it's good that you say that they. I mean, as part of the organization's you know, modus operandi, we are all for unity. We are all for collaboration, meaningful unity, meaningful collaboration, as long as it's gearing towards the independence of Ambazonia. So
as we did in Canada talks.
Yeah.
Let me put this out for Ambazonians to understand. We will unite in purpose, but there will not be an overarching structure that will be created in terms of what Ambazonians, based on our experiences in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. Cameroon is not joking. They are out to infiltrate and to destroy from within. So we've learned our lessons from the past, and we are open to bilateral collaboration with other movements to maintain the identity and the independence of other movements. What the Ambazonia Governing Council will not do is to participate in anything that will create an overarching structure, which will be infiltrated and destroyed. Anything we put together, we've seen that in forces on the ground. All the overarching structures that were created on the ground were infiltrated and all top commanders were destroyed. We've seen that in the diaspora. We've seen that any time there is a serious event, Cameroon will infiltrate. And so we are now looking for sensible, practical, and realistic methods of collaboration in order to safeguard the integrity of the liberation struggle.
Yeah, and you make a good point because we said we are for bilateral or multilateral type of collaboration because we still give people their respect, their due respect as various groups and various organizations. So, I mean, people have defined themselves. They have come together under various, formulas. We still respect that, but as long as the goal and whatever we are going to sit for is for the liberation of Ambazonia, we give you a respect. We allow you to function the way you function, and if we have a common goal, if we have a common goal of freeing our land, we'll work with anybody. That is actually, and technically, you see, the position and the stance that the AGOVC has taken, that is what has safeguarded and maintained the dignity and the integrity of this revolution. Just assume that everybody went under.
First of all, every organization has a responsibility to protect its to protect itself and its existence and its structure from infiltration and from a takeover. Liberation politics is not baby food.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not an apple. It's not a banana. It's a very complex endeavor. As we've said many times, if you're not very careful, people can get killed.
Yeah.
We'll lose a lot of soldiers, and the liberation itself can come to an end if it's not done properly.
Yeah.
So we must do it with due diligence.
You're right.
And tactfulness.
Yeah.
These are very critical times, and the enemy is very desperate. Okay?
Yeah, I want to ask you one quick question.
Which one? You've started. You want to ask me?
No. The point is this.
Which one?
my take is this. Why? What? Normally, we live in a world. Let me put this world where we perceive that there's order and there is, there's order from what we hear, and we live in a world where they call this rules-based order. The Europeans and the Westerners, they claim they use the terminology rules-based order. You can't arrest somebody and you detain him and you don't charge the person, give him the opportunity to defend himself. The president of the ACN has been in detention, under detention for over 6 months and counting. We've not heard the charge. We've not heard, they have not given him an opportunity to defend himself. It is an illegal detention. And I think that the strategy that the enemy and its seniors are banging on is the fact that we will stop talking about our president, or the president of the ACN. Now, what is his charge? Can they just let's be clear about this. We see this manifest in countries that they consider as third world countries or developing countries, and they make a lot of noise about it. How can you detain someone for more than 6 months and over 6 months and counting? You restrict him from his civil rights, you restrict him from his freedoms, and you have not charged him for anything. You have not brought him up to court. The person the purpose of him being arrested and detained has not come out in public. Such a very prominent leader. What's the end game that Norway, that claims to function under rules-based order, that claims to function under a structured society, that brandishes itself as a country that stands for liberty and democracy and freedoms? What is the point? Can you help me out? Because I'm trying to understand the rationale behind this as a layperson, but someone that understands the basis of a structured organization. How can they stand openly and humiliate themselves when you yourself have taken a deep dive research on Norway as a nation, and you know how they fought tooth and nail to push out the Nazis? How can they stand and perpetuate such an evil intention? And they walk. What's your angle about it? What's the purpose surrounding this? Is it their intention for us to stop talking about our leader, or to dent the revolution? What are the key players behind this? And what's going on?
I understand the pain we all feel. I understand the pain we all feel. And as people that have lived under occupation for a very long period of time, we long for justice. We have looked up to the world, that the world it's a very just and stable place based on certain international rules and international laws and international order. We have to be very careful. There is something called reality and there is something called aspirations. Ambazonia is not Canada. Ambazonia is not Norway. Ambazonia is not France. Let me give you an example. Where I am today in Canada, just 40 years ago, just 40 years ago, the Canadian government was taking children from these indigenous people called the natives, the people that both the British and the French met, who owns this land.
Yeah.
Just 40 years ago, they were taking their children. A woman will give birth. The government would take that children right from that woman in the hospital. Why? So that that child should not grow up and practice the way of life of the natives. They wanted to raise that child in the white man's ways of Christianity, of their way of food, their way of clothing. More than 70,000 children were slaughtered. There are mass graves now that are being discovered. That these children that were taken away by the government, handed over to the Catholic Church, were all raped and murdered. Okay. You can read about it.
Yeah.
When the Pope
I
came
heard
in,
about it.
when the Pope came here about 3 years ago,
Yeah, it was an issue.
he offered an apology
Yeah.
and called it
Follow that.
a genocide.
I followed that. Actually.
In the United States right now, as we speak, the current administration is revoking visas to international students that participated in protest against the war in Gaza. Professors are being taken to court for speaking out. They just passed a certain communique was sent out yesterday by the State Department, the Justice Department, and the State Department. If you are an international student, an immigrant, and if you hold permanent residency or green card, if you've ever committed a crime in the United States, you'll be deported. So while we speak about international law, they are not made. These laws were created by those that were victors of the Second World War. You were not part of it. I was not part of it. They built their system. They created the United Nations. They created the World Bank. They created the IMF. They created international law. We are only participating. Africa has about 1.4 billion people. It has no seat at the Security Council. India, with a population of about 1.3 billion, has no seat at the Security Council. So I understand how frustrated we are. So the world is ruled by games, interest, and dominance. We are aspiring to be free from oppression and from occupation. And so the existing state called Cameroon, just like the existing state called Israel, does not want Palestine to be free. The existing state called Cameroon, which is the occupying authority in Ambazonia, does not want Ambazonia to be free. Because our current model of the world, which is our current values, okay, are predatory in nature. We have certain false beliefs, which means If Ambazonia becomes free, then Cameroon is losing something. Then probably Cameroon will not be able to develop. Then probably Cameroon can disintegrate. If Palestine becomes free, then Israel is losing something. Then Israel will no longer be Israel. So all these occupying states use violence and oppression and suppression as means to subjugate the occupied people in order to prove that they are strong and they have power. But is that the only way a state can prove its strength and dominance and power? Is that the only way?
No, economically you can. China is doing that.
So that model of the world, it's a model of the world that is a destructive model of the world. And that's why over the last 70 years, there has never been peace in the Middle East. As long as that is the model of the world that the occupying authority insists to practice. It's the same thing with Cameroon. There are more than, according to international experts, okay, in terms of people that are involved in international diplomacy, they said there are about 180,000 Palestinians have been killed within the last 16, 17 months. About 180,000. The official record states it's about 46 to 48,000. But these experts are counting on 90% of northern Gaza has been turned to rubble. Imagine all the children, the women, men, all the young men that are underneath the rubble. So estimate it's about 180,000. So when you're talking about
folks, coming back to our topic of discussion.
Let me just because it's good we equate these things because we get lost sometimes because it's so personal to us. What is the international law? Come back to Ambazonia. Cameroon is an occupying power. It's not a state that is reasonable. It's not a state that is, you're not dealing with people that are reasonable. Mr. Biya is not reasonable. Cameroon is not a reasonable state. They are not people that do things based on the rule of law. They don't even obey their own laws. So why do you expect them to obey international laws? When their own laws, they can't obey their own laws. Look at how they treat their own citizens. What has happened to Dr. Cho, what has happened to Siseko Ayokabe, what has happened to Tassan Wilfred, what has happened to Pam Fongalanfo, what has happened to Mancho BBC, what has happened to Abdul Karim is the same thing. The occupying state feels threatened by any Ambazonian who dares to challenge its occupying authority of Ambazonia by exerting the identity and independence of Ambazonia or Southern Cameroon.
So now the case in this
arrest of Dr. Cho by Norway, it's a political, psychological game which has been planned, orchestrated, carried out by those that are benefiting from the Ambazonian cheap resources, France and Cameroon. They just used Norway. Okay? The French intelligence services worked hand in hand with the Norwegian intelligence services, and they pleaded with the United States to allow them to do this. The US
whole administration.
under Joe Biden. They gave them the green light. Because
On what charges? And why have we not
again
brought him up to court?
I want us to be reasonable. Dr. Cho is the most consequential Ambazonian leader. His presence outside would lead to the freedom of Ambazonia. You need two things for any liberation to succeed. You need a charismatic leader, and you need a compelling liberation movement. He created both. By taking away Dr. Cho, they reduce the intensity of the liberation struggle psychologically. They reduce the light that the people relied upon psychologically. So these are psychological gains. By taking the leader out, remember, where there is no leader, the people perish. Where there is no leader, the people perish.
But he's still a leader. And we still recognize the fact that he's still a leader, no matter where they jail him.
I've not refused the fact.
No, I understand. I'm just trying to make sure that we see how to understand it.
I understand. By putting him in jail, there's a difference between a leader being physically outside and a leader being in jail. They are two different things.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, they are two different things. By taking the leader, keeping him in jail for their own reasons, not for your reasons. They are keeping him in jail in fictitious charges that have not even been levied on him yet. Okay, it's all a game. And once you and I understand the game, they are playing with your life, they are playing with my life, and the only reason they are playing this game is because you are an Ambazonian, you are an African, you are black.
We have to assert ourselves. We understand that.
Why don't you?
I don't refuse that.
Have you realized that they don't play the games with their English brothers? Have you realized that they don't play the games with their Finnish brothers and sisters? Have you realized that they don't play the games with their Danish brothers and sisters? Or with their Dutch brothers and sisters? Or with their German brothers and sisters? We need to get this stuff in our brain.
No, I get you. What you are saying is true. You are right. We are trying to let us understand we have to assert ourselves and get beyond that, because what you are trying to make, the point you're trying to make is true, because we have psychologically internalized what they have imposed on us as being subservient, and they are trying to practice and continue to impose what they think they are forced upon us to accept, of which when you and I sit and we are having this, I can call it conversation and intelligent communication, is to let our people understand the reality and see how they see us, and make sure that we let them understand that what they think and what they perceive that we are not going to fall in their or play in their game. We are a people with right of sovereignty. We are a people as equal as them on planet Earth. Here is what
General Colin Powell, the first black African American 4-star general. Here's what he said: I will not allow the opinion of others become my opinion of myself.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
Norway can detain Dr. Cho. Norway can kill Dr. Cho. Norway can even jail Dr. Cho for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Whatever they do is to achieve certain political objectives, just like the arrest, imprisonment, and sentencing of Siseko Ayoktabe Julius, just like the arrest, the rendition, the imprisonment, and the sentencing of Ayoktabe Julius is to achieve political objectives, which is to deny. The political objective is to deny the Ambazonian people a charismatic leader who can mobilize the people, a leader that the people can trust and count upon for their liberation.
But then I don't refuse that.
Bro, please, let's just have this
I
conversation.
don't refuse that. I'm buying what you are saying.
What I'm trying to say is, look, they have political objectives to achieve for their own interest. When they took out Ayoktabe, unfortunately, Yerima cannot fill the shoes of Siseko Ayoktabe. What happened to that organization? So Cameroon achieved its political objective.
It fragmented because it was never on a solid ground.
I'm just saying.
I don't refuse that.
Yeah. Its political objective.
Yep.
What
for
they
that
do is to
weaken the
Ambazonian people, weaken their resolve. The egg of sea, it's a different beast. Okay? It might, by taking the leader, the vice president coming in, they understand that it's going to take the vice president a couple of months to adjust into the new role. They know that. So that period of adjusting, first of all, it delivers a shock on the people and it creates fear. These are all psychological games the enemy is playing. We don't have to fall for it. We just have to understand the game. And the purpose of this interaction is to help all of us to understand the social psychological games the enemy is playing with Ambazonia. Once you understand the game, you know how to circumvent, you know how to confront, you know how to fight, you know how to reposition, and you know how to elevate. That's the whole point. Norway, you may wake up tomorrow and they tell you they've sent Dr. Cho to 30 years in jail.
We will fight it. I don't refuse it. No, I don't refuse it. You are, no, that is what you are saying. I don't refuse it.
Here is the thing. We should prepare for the worst.
I understand.
And by preparing for the worst, by making up our minds, by making no way to understand, Dr. Cho has made up his mind. They can kill him. They can send him to 100 years in jail. It will not stop the freedom and independence of Ambazonia. Okay? It will not stop.
Yep.
Cameroon can jail Mancho, jail Siseko, jail Tassa, jail Abdul Karim. Cameroon will not stop the independence of Ambazonia.
You're right.
And we can guarantee Cameroon this. All these men and women will walk free upon negotiations. It's all a game. We just have to organize ourselves properly, increase our determination, increase our resilience, increase our commitment, and increase the punches we deliver to Cameroon. These are very critical times. And increase the punches we deliver to Cameroon. We deliver to their enablers, to their oligarchs. That's the whole point. As long as they look at you and I and realize that the arrest of Dr. Cho, we've not blinked, we're raising more money, the forces on the ground are getting well equipped, forces are expanding, forces are growing, We're forming new alliances. We're building new momentum. We're moving from east to west around the globe and intensifying our diplomatic offensives. They will adjust. They are only testing how far they can push us and how much we can bend. This is what all these games are all about.
Yeah, you're right.
As long as we are persistent and we are relentless, they have no choice. Cameroon only has this much time.
Yeah, you're right, because when you know, one of the things that you say that is very consequential is the fact that, you know, what I've noticed in the field as I speak to the forces, any time that they carry out a major operation, you have seen how the Mbuyindonga axis has been very active, or the state of Mesa has been very active. Anytime that they carry out an action and you're talking to the generals or talking to we are doing this for our father. We are doing this based on the doctrine that he taught us. He's consistent. You are constant keeping him there. It's not going to stop us from doing what we are doing. We'll keep on doing what we are doing till our land is free.
Here is why the arrest and detention of the leader will not change or dent the trajectory of the liberation. Because over the last 9 years, he has programmed and conditioned within the psyche of the Ambazonian people a sense of nationalism, a sense of identity and ownership of the land.
Sovereignty.
He's built within them a sense of authority, a sense of leadership, and an attitude of never blinking. He has informed all of us that we are going to face a series of obstacles, challenges along the way.
Yeah.
Like every other people that have gone through this path.
Yeah.
They have the same challenges they face. We're going to face those challenges. But we should know that at the end, as long as we are persistent, as long as we have faith, as long as we are committed, as long as we are resilient, as long as we never lose sight of what is it that we're fighting for. The survival of our people and the survival of the state of Ambazonia.
There is something that I want to ask you, just to get your take on it. We have seen the barbaric nature of the Republic of Cameroon. We've seen them openly, knowing that our civilians are in homes. They have burned them down with them in those houses. We saw, you and I, one of the most gruesome images that we have ever experienced in this revolution, where Sam Sawyer was held in public and he was slaughtered like a cow. They videotaped it and filmed it and sent it out. That's how barbaric the Republic of Cameroon is. What was their game plan? What were they trying to convey to us? Doing that, and we've also seen how they used their proxy forces, their Tanganji boys, where an Ambazonian lady was killed. His entries exposed, torn open, his entries exposed and beheaded, cut like piece of chicken. What were they trying to? What was the message they were trying to pass along to Ambazonians?
A mental image. An image, it's a very powerful symbol. Okay. For any Christian, just when you say Christ, what comes into their mind automatically is the cross. That's an image. That image has been embedded in the minds of Christians for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
during the uprising in Cameroon, when France was offering and preparing Cameroon for quasi-independence, and the UPC wanted full independence and full sovereignty, they launched a resistance campaign to pressurize the French to grant them full independence and give them full sovereignty. The French, I will advise all Ambazonians to study these literatures. They are out there. Go watch the documentary of what the French, and at that time, the Cameroon intelligence services, what they did to the Bamili case.
It's a genocide there, right?
They killed 400,000. 400,000.
Wow.
They will hacked the head of a man and put in a village square of that village.
Done by the French.
And Cameroon. But the French were the one giving, prescribing, and giving the rules of what to do. The French participated. Some of them are alive. They are confessing today. That's why I'm advising everybody to go study and watch. Go study this literature. Go watch this stuff so that you will understand the foundation of the state of Cameroon.
And that's their history. They don't teach them.
No, so these are the rules of the game. When Cameroon succeeded to suppress, when Cameroon and French succeeded to suppress UPC, and then the puppets groomed by France, who fought alongside the French against UPC, the Bia and the rest, and Ayijo, were responsible in all of these massacres.
Yeah.
In order to take power from the French, in order to be crowned the new owners of the land, the new authorities of governance, the people that they will hand over quasi-independence to. But they succeeded in killing 400,000 men, women, grandmothers, children, pregnant women. They will hack the head of a woman and put it in her neighborhood for others to see. Is this what you want to be?
There's a balance that they use now in the US that they call it buck breaking.
So what they did, what they did to Sam Sawyer was, by filming and taking pictures, they are sending a powerful, fearful message to other Ambazonians. If you rise up, you'll become the next Sam Sawyer. So the lady you talked about that was killed, her body hacked, her body parts were harvested by Cameroon military, especially the bees. They took her body parts and sold it in the black market for voodoo. They are doing this in Ambazonia. The bees are killing Ambazonian men and women, young girls, harvesting their body parts and sell them in the black market for voodoo in Cameroon. The literature is all out there for all of you to go study, research, find out for yourselves that in Cameroon, they sell human body parts for voodoo. But their essence of doing all of this is to instill the emotion of fear within the experience of Ambazonians, so that the image are so shocking and horrible that Ambazonians will not want to go out and resist. It didn't work. Here's why it didn't work. Unlike in the 50s, we can counter those things. So when they embed these destructive images in the minds of our people to create fear, we will immediately counter those images and put positive images that automatically suppress the old image. So we instill now resistance, fear, bravery, courage, right? Triumph. If we never had social media, if we didn't have the internet, if we didn't have smartphone, the liberation would have collapsed.
Sure.
Okay? These things would have worked. They didn't work because we outsmart Cameroon, because we understand the psychological game they are playing. We're way above Cameroon. So we can instantly counteract it, reassure our people, right? Those things were done by forces that came from Chad, from Central African Republic, from Equatorial Guinea, and the French on the field in Ambazonia. Okay? There are British forces are fighting alongside Cameroon B. There are French forces fighting alongside Cameroon.
Wow.
Okay? The forces on the ground have taken pictures of even Dutch forces from Holland fighting in Ambazonia. Ambazonia is not just fighting Cameroon. The Ambazonia Governing Council intercepted intelligence last week. A United Nations report. You didn't know this, I didn't know this. Yeah. The intelligence was intercepted. There is a United Nations report of an investigation that a United Nations team conducted in Ngabo. The French forces from what they call DGSE, Direction Générale de Sécurité Extérieure, are implicated in the Ngabo massacre. Wow. French intelligence force operatives of the French Legionnaires, which they have a base in Douala, were directly involved in the Ngabo massacre. How many other massacres have they orchestrated, directed, and monitored in Ambazonia? What we are fighting for is way bigger than what most of us understand physically. There's a lot here that is involved. Remember, around 2017, 2018, the Americans were solely responsible in training the bee up there in Marwa and Garwa. They had a bee base where they were providing training. A lot of the surveillance materials were surveillance materials that were supposed to be used in the fight for Boko Haram. So the reason the US got upset at the time, Mr. Trump administration at the time, got upset because the materials the United States provided for counter-terrorism were diverted
to fight Ambazonia,
to commit atrocities, human rights abuses in Ambazonia.
Wow, that's overloaded. Anyway, it doesn't surprise, because when Legend Ayaba was in the battlefield, he would come back and tell us that I was fighting white people. I was in the battlefield with white people, and they were French soldiers. There were moments that we caught some. I think the soldiers caught some French soldiers with their badges on. So it's not something that, from what you said, we are fighting something bigger, way bigger than we think, and we really have to really buckle up to continue this battle.
We should look, bro. We should applaud and give ourselves some credit. We should applaud the resilience of our people.
Yeah.
Look at all of these international actors, all involved in that small place called Ambazonia, fighting the people that by their nature very peaceful. So look at how much progress we've been able to make. Look at how far we have come. Even with the French directly being involved, the British being directly involved, the Israelis, the Dutch, and the Americans. Look at how far Ambazonia has come. Look at how far these forces have come. Look at how much they've done in terms of resistance and liberation. We should pat ourselves on the back, bro. We've done extremely well in the face of very difficult circumstances. People, nations, states, and organizations with some of the best technologies and weapons. In our relative obscurity and emptiness, in the worst of times, we've shown the best and have done the best. This is extraordinary.
Yeah. You're right. At times, that's what I'm saying, that when people always say that the revolution is God ordained, I mean, those are the earmarks of what we are seeing. The forces that we are fighting is beyond, but we are still standing up tall and high and strong. There's something that you still see. I watched a couple of images today on social media. You see, I can call it desperation in Republic Cameroon, where people are receiving 10,000 and a bottle. And then when you look at it, is not just youths, older people. Is that how cheap Republic Cameroonians have become? And before I really ask the question, I want to make it very clear to Ambazonians. We are not participating in any way, shape, or form in these sham elections in our territory. If anybody is doing, you are committing treason. If you are caught with voters' card, or you are caught with electoral, anything related to Republic Cameroon in the name of election in our land is treasonous. So if you are caught with any of those things and our forces, you fall in the hands of our forces, you have yourself to blame. Ambazonia is a state. La Republic of Cameroon is another state. They don't have any right or mandate to conduct any form of election in our territory. Anybody participating or taking part in that, you are the umbilical cord in the oppression and subjugation of our people. And we are doing everything possible to cut it off. So, spokes, seeing the desperation in the Republic of Cameroon, them vying to go and vote for a 90-something year, close to a 100-year-old person to rule. Look at the desperation and the catastrophic nature of that nation. What crosses your mind with such images that you see on social media? People,
Happiness. I'm happy.
You're happy for them? Oh, you're happy for them?
Yes. I'm happy
Hope
to
he
see.
stays in their land, not
No.
in Ambazonia.
These are gifts to the Ambazonian people. What Cameroon is doing, these are stories for us to take, properly communicate to the international community, to Norway. Look at what you said.
Yeah.
Okay? Ask any Cameroonian or any Cameroonese who is telling you election is the way to go and vote. That voting will resolve the conflict. Okay?
Yeah.
So these are all gifts. When you've seen all of these things happening, you've seen a state that has no soul, a state that has no character, a state that has no identity, a state that has no rules, a state that has no laws. That's why I've said Cameroon as a state does not exist. Because a state, it's a set of cultures and customs, a set of values, okay, that shape what they call a state. The United States has certain cultures, certain customs, certain norms, okay, certain
Canada
values
also. Yeah.
that makes the United States the United States. So Cameroon is a corrupt, okay, it's a corrupt, okay, it's a backward country that a 92-year-old dictator who's been in power for 43 years has become so desperate. And all the oligarchs they've put in place, they have become so desperate. They don't have anything to go tell the people as to why they should vote for them because they have no reason. They've not been able to offer their people anything. Mr. Biya, about 3-4 days ago, put out a post on Twitter that he has borrowed, he's taken a loan of 112 billion CFA, I think from the state of Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. But it's done on Twitter. To do what? To provide water for the city of Yaoundé, the capital of Cameroon. No, think about this. The capital of your country, the people doesn't have basic water to drink. You have to go to Belgium or any of these Western states to borrow, to take a loan of 112 billion CFA in order to provide water. You know how much Mr. Biya is worth? Do you know how much Mr. Biya is worth? No. Mr. Biya is the richest president in Africa with a net worth of 3.5 billion CFA. I mean, sorry, $3.5 billion. Okay? They've emptied the treasury, auctioned all the resources. They've emptied the treasury, auctioned all the resources to third parties, to multinational companies in France, Norway, the UK, and even the US, German companies, in order to guarantee the power. So that's why nobody's talking about all of those corrupt practices. That's why they accepted the 2018 presidential elections when it was rigged in front of openly. That's why they will accept 2025 presidential election, which Mr. Biya will declare himself the winner. So now, every rally, they are giving everybody, a man and a woman. So think about how they have reduced Cameroonese mothers to beggars in their own country. So wear the CPDM uniform, come to the rally. We will take down your name. We will take down your phone number. We'll take a copy of your ID card. You have committed to vote for the CPDM. Here is your 2,000. Here is your bottle, a small bottle of juice, and half a baguette with some sardines.
Yes.
So we have reduced the population to mere beggars in their own country. A country so rich with natural resources. We own those natural resources. So we make them beggars and dependents. So now, the population, I give you 2,000, I give you 4,000, I give you 5,000. I give you a bottle of juice. I take pictures of you. I take videos of you. You know what I've done to you? I've committed you to an act of corruption, to the outcome for which I want. And Cameroon is not ashamed of it. So that is what Cameroon has become. Now, that is what they are Bobalas,
yeah,
and all the opposition parties in Cameroon, okay,
the Kawalas,
and all the Anglophones, that's what they want. They are transferring that from Cameroon to Ambazonia. In every rally, which they will sneak into Ambazonia, bring in bags of money, bags of salt, bags of rice. So people are exchanging their destiny. They are trading their destiny, their future.
Few generations also.
Their future is worth a bottle of juice. Their destiny is worth 2,000. Their lives is worth a bottle of export. Because as long as I can eat and drink at this moment, I don't care about what happens tomorrow.
That's sad, man.
So
that's sad.
This is what is at stake. But that's a gift for you and for all Ambazonians. Because it reminds you, that is not what I want. That's not what I'm fighting for. That's not a future I want to be part of. And that's why elections, the colonial elections, have been banned in Ambazonia. We don't want the poison. We don't want the toxicity.
Yeah.
We don't want the corruption. They have been banned in Ambazonia.
Thank you very much. Thanks for really breaking down. Because people don't see, they don't know the gravity of what those images are really telling. When you break it down and let people understand you are sacrificing your future and your future generations for a piece of bread.
No, because that's what you signed up for. Remember, this is what the people, they did this in 2018. That's what the people signed up for. That's what the people are signing up for. Yeah. So after the election, that's what you sign up for.
And you know what? Us fighting for our sovereignty, our statehood, you know, the West don't talk about it, but they see people of that sort. Anyway, you break it down in your last. You did a good job in your last outing by stating that well. The world is ruled by interest. So someone like Bia can be there for the next 100 years. They don't care as long as they get the interest.
Just because they're not talking about it on TV doesn't mean they're not talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because Norway has arrested Dr. Cho does not mean the world does not care about Ambazonia. The world, it's a big place. Okay? There are others that cares about Ambazonia.
Yeah.
You and I we saw a video of a conference that took place in South Africa.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The summit.
Yeah.
We saw that, right?
Yeah, we saw that. You're right.
We saw in 2022, in October, November, and December 2022, Ambazonians proudly in 3 different cities across Canada, in Montebello, Mont-Tremblant, and in Toronto, Ambazonia sat in the biggest diplomatic events in the world and negotiated with Cameroon. We are something, my brother. We are something.
And besides that, just what you're saying, our legal team is also the firm that we hired is also making some serious inlets into the quest for our independence.
There's
work going on.
There's a report that just came out this week by African Intelligence, a news outlet that has been existing in the last 40 years.
Okay.
They just wrote a diplomatic article on the strides Ambazonia is making in the United States through the lobby firm. And Sila has been put on notice.
It's good that you bring out some of the gains you are making externally, so that our people back home can know that we are one with them.
Bro, here is something I want to say. The Ambazonian people have successfully delivered a strategic defeat to Cameroon.
Yeah.
Okay. Cameroon, it's calculating. Cameroon, as an occupying power, is doing some soul searching. Various factions in Cameroon, they're juxtaposing. Okay. They are making some calculations, and they are talking to the world that, hey, listen, we need help. So there is a lot of movement taking place between Cameroon, Ambazonia, and the international community in order to forge what's coming on next, what could be on the table. Ambazonia is standing for independence, freedom, and sovereignty. Cameroon, as an occupying power, will come and propose something. It's negotiation.
Yeah.
Okay? But they are coming to the table. They've never been on the table before with Ambazonia. The first time was 2022 because of this strategic defeat. So we have made inroads. We have proven ourselves. We've demonstrated ourselves. We've demonstrated our capabilities. We are a powerful people. We now command power. We are powerful. That's why the international community is looking for ways to resolve the conflict, stop the killing, end the suffering, and find a negotiated settlement which will be hammered out by the Ambazonian people and by Cameroon.
Yeah.
When the time comes. But things are moving fast because there are signs that Cameroon can implode. And the international community is also afraid what happens if Cameroon implodes. So it's better to push Cameroon, threaten Cameroon, squeeze Cameroon to accept a negotiated settlement before the international community has to deal with another 10,000 refugees.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the entire region that is very fragile will now collapse.
Yeah.
So this is who we are as Ambazonians.
Yeah.
This is how far we have pushed Cameroon and taken Cameroon to that point, to that breaking point. We Ambazonians have done this to Cameroon.
Yeah.
Cameroon has no choice than to negotiate with this generation. And no one can take this away from us.
Yeah. Comrade, one last thing I want to ask you. I know I've taken much of your time.
We're just rounding up right now. So
yeah, we're rounding up actually. I just want to ask you one last question. Recently we heard about, I want to get your take on this and what is the messaging behind this? Recently we've heard about TPS, they call it temporal stay.
Temporal protected status.
Protected status, temporal protected status from some Ambazonians, let me say Cameroonians. I know, let me put it this way, specifically
Ambazonians are Cameroonians.
Yeah, both Ambazonians and both Cameroonians. They are both of them, two states that they have taken away. that particular protected status for our people are more concerned with Ambazonians, even. This is both for Cameroon and Ambazonia. We are more concerned with Ambazonians. And I'm very worried about that. So what type of messaging is coming out with this type of decision? And what can you transmit to Ambazonians globally about this struggle and quest for our land? What is the messaging behind that? How can you transmit? I mean, how do you relate this with Ambazonians globally for them to have an understanding about this revolution?
First of all, it's a tragic situation for people that have escaped the conflict. Travels across deserts, across dense, wild forest, live through rivers, jungles, and they've gone through all sort of extreme conditions to find their way to the United States. A land where they believe they'll find hope and safety. So it's heartbreaking. For our people. This is not done specifically as a punishment to any Ambazonian. It's a broad policy. It's a blanket policy. The new administration is taking. The United States has problems that they will not be able to solve maybe for the next 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
According to some estimates, there are about 30 million illegal immigrants in the United States. Some said it's 20 million. Some said it's 30 million. Mr. Trump has an agenda called America First.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the world first. So while we are victims of these circumstances, they just want to rebuild their own country. Some states, some judges in the United States, some civil rights movements in the United States are doing everything they possibly can to help these people not to be sent back. I hope that Ambazonians in the United States will reach out and find out some of these civil rights movements within the United States that are providing free legal services so that they can get some help.
Okay.
Mr. Trump policy is not specific to the conflict. People from Haiti, we all know what's happening in Haiti. It's a serious conflict in Haiti, and for the last 3 years, they've not had a government.
Mm-hmm.
The capital has been taken over by gangs. Kenya has deployed about 500 Kenya police in Haiti as part of a new US and UN peacekeeping mission in Haiti. There are Haitians, there are Cubans, there are Mexicans. There are about 550,000 people from Latin America and the Caribbeans that have lost their own type of TPS as well. 550,000. So it's not specific to Ambazonia. That's what I wanted to say. And it's not specific to the conflict. It's not like because Cameroon has achieved some gains on the ground, and so therefore Mr. Trump is saying, oh, now it's safe for these people to go back. That's not the case. Mr. Trump wants to reduce the burden the United States is carrying in terms of immigrants, temporal immigrants. For those that have families in the United States, do all you can to have yourself a lawyer to protect yourself. I just wanted to say that it is not specific to Ambazonia. We also don't know if this is a signal to Mr. Biya. This could also be a signal to Mr. Biya. This could be a signal. I've not gotten any intelligence within our sources yet as to what is the calculation behind this. Okay? They have also their Sudanese are also being asked to leave. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is not Ambazonian specific. So Cameroon cannot, I know that there are propagandists out there which will come and tell the Ambazonian
grandstand. To grandstand and say that they are the ones that have done you right.
They will say that because Cameroon has defeated the resistance on the ground and therefore it's a part of the normalization process. That's why the United States, no, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and go ahead, sorry. Maybe it's not a point.
There was also something that came up this week about there was a guy that was caught. There's a video circulating out there. I think we had it in the communication forum where.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to bring that up so that we use that to wrap this up.
I can't pull it now, but
you don't have to pull it. We can talk about it.
Yeah, about the guy that was caught in Lebialem by Red Dragons. Recently, there was a video out there that a guy was caught as an informant for the enemy, and I mean, can you speak more to the tactics that the enemy is using now and what's playing on the ground? Because we got some very sense from what you were trying to hint me. We got some very sensitive information from this guy and what he was trying to put out there. So that, when you put out this information, our people are versed and aware of the tactics and the strategy that the enemy is using on our own people, and so as to caution them to be more careful. So I know it came from Lebialem, and it was part of the Red Dragon forces, the fragments of the Red Dragon force that are still operating in Lebialem, that we picked up that guy. I saw him talking about him being an informant. I don't know, what can you say more about that video?
The Cameroon government is also changing its tactics, but they are also repeating some of their old tactics. Around 2018, 2019, they set up a lot of what they call vigilante groups across Ambazonia. Mm-hmm. It all collapsed. So what they are doing is to use presidents of communities or community organizations, presidents of cultural community organizations.
Yeah.
And draw them into the conflict to become actors of the conflict within their various communities. In the case of what happened in Lebialem, the Lebialem Cultural Association, the president of that group, according to this intel which that guy provided, is the one who set up this vigilante group.
Wow.
That he's been instructed by the bees. So they are using them to set up this vigilante group. They didn't only set up a vigilante group. They connect them directly to the bees to provide them with Cameroon military uniforms.
Okay.
And weapons. In the past, when the bees and the Cameroon government when things are not working out for them, they will come and take some of these vigilante elements and kill them and display their bodies as Ambazonian fighters. Now, unfortunately for this guy, forces of the Red Dragons have identified who he is, discovered who he is, and arrested him. The video confessions are public. They are all circulating on social media. For any young Ambazonian, anyone who wants to recruit you to be part of a vigilante group, the Cameroon state, as an occupying authority, is responsible for the security in Ambazonia. So the Cameroon state does not want to live up to its own obligation because they are afraid to fight Ambazonian forces. They don't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
They want to use you without training, without education, to carry the burden of providing security. They want to use you to be intelligence gatherer so that you can trace, identify movements of Ambazonian forces, and then you pass on the intelligence. You are putting yourself
at what cost? Yeah.
You are putting yourself on a crossroad. You're putting yourself in between. You're getting yourself directly involved in the conflict. You are getting yourself directly involved in the conflict. You are becoming an actor of the conflict or in the conflict. You're becoming a direct participant in the conflict.
Traitor.
Ambazonian forces will take you out.
Yeah.
So, all Ambazonians, don't allow yourself or yourselves to be used by by presidents of Ambazonian cultural groups that have been taken over by Cameroon intelligence services. They provide them with money, and then they use you. They should use their own children.
Yep.
Tell the president of your cultural group to use his own brothers and sisters as vigilantes. They should not use you for 10,000 francs, for 20,000 francs. You can do better. You will be killed.
Yep.
They will come back and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're caught, just like the other one that was caught, working with the enemy, eating with the enemy, conniving with the enemy, you're putting your life at risk. You're putting your life in danger. You have a better future ahead of you. Stay away from anything Cameroon. Stay away. Don't allow them to use you. They said they have gendarmes. They said they have bees.
Mm-hmm.
They said they have police. They said they have army. The army, their bees, their gendarmes, and their police, and their presidential guards should provide security wherever they think it's needed. They should not don't allow yourselves to be used. Ambazonian people are fighting the occupier. Don't get yourself in the middle. You get yourself in the middle, you will be killed, and you have yourself to blame.
Thank you very much, Spokes. I hope that message goes very clear to Ambazonians. Anybody participating against the liberation of Ambazonians is a traitor. and you will be killed, as the spokes have said. It's not a matter as it's, but it is the law of this revolution. Participating in elections is anti-revolutionary. Participating or forming vigilante groups, you are directly involved in the war, because your vigilante is against our fighters, and you will be treated as an enemy combatant.
No, they are spies.
Yeah, you are a spy to the enemy. Yeah, I know that you are directly involved, as the speaker has said, and you know the consequences. You are our enemy, and our enemies are taken out in the battlefield. So at times we come and we make people to understand and have the sentiment very clearly, so that they get it and they understand whatever thing they are doing, the ramifications.
Save your life. Save your life.
Yes.
Save your life. Don't go closer to those guys. Don't go closer to the public. Don't go closer to enablers. Save your life. Don't allow them to use you that to be what they call vigilante. Don't allow yourself. They will kill you. They will kill you. The beast will kill you. Display your body that you are an Amber fighter. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
They've done this in the past.
Yeah.
They've killed a lot of young Ambazonians. All right. They will give you those guns. They turn around, kill you, take your body, dump your body in your community, and then they'll call you an Ambazonian fighter.
Yeah.
Stay clear. Save your life.
Thanks so much, folks. Thanks so much. You know, you and I can go on and on for hours and hours, but I really thank you very much.
We are right now what? Yeah, we schedule an hour 40 minutes. We're right now an hour 48 minutes, so we come to the end.
We are really on time. Thanks very much, folks. Thanks. I really appreciate your analysis, your in-depth analysis. You take it not only, you bring it down to Ambazonian people to understand exactly what we are facing, how much we need to put in. And the good thing about your analysis is that you let our people understand that keep emotions aside. See things the way it is. Unless we get to that point of seeing things the way it is, we can't make progress. There was an era of emotions, and you are trying to, wean us out of emotions and see the raw, bare, what lies bare ahead of us or in front of us, so that we can really know exactly how to confront it. We are like cleansing our minds, cleansing our people's minds to know the enemy that we are facing. There is no sugarcoating. There's no sweet talks around. We have to really get serious and continue the resistance in the proper form. Because, the point is that when you sugarcoat things, we go in lousily and we get hurt. Just as we started this revolution with all the niceties and the thoughts.
We have to save lives and we have to protect lives, right?
Yes.
So we are fighting. We are fighting to save the lives and protect the lives of our people.
Yes.
This situation really helps our people not to fall victims, all right? Mm-hmm. Because the goal of the enemy is to make everyone a victim of themselves.
Yeah.
Okay? They create circumstances and then they send you into those circumstances for you to become victims of circumstances they created. Mm-hmm. Right? So the scheme of vigilante is to rally young Ambazonians, because they have to prove to the state of Cameroon, the police, the army, the gendarmes, they have to prove to the state of Cameroon that they are fighting. So that's why they will kill these young men and women called vigilante within communities, displace their body. After all, some of them are armed by the bees. They'll kill them, take pictures. That is Amber Boys, for them to continuously collect war money.
That's a racketeering that's been going on on the corpse on the bodies of our people, our young people. So we are just sending out this warning for people to understand the game and to know what is going on, so that you stay away from it. If you have something to contribute to the revolution, fight with our fighting forces, and let's push these people out of our territory. I really want to thank you, Spokes, for always taking time to break things down for our people, to let our people understand where we stand, and to let our people have clarity in what we are fighting for, and to help continue to create that determination for our people to know that we are the only ones to free ourselves, and we need to do it rightly. There is no one coming, but it's only us to do the job.
Cameroon is done.
Yeah.
Cameroon is done. Okay? We have delivered a strategic defeat to Cameroon.
Yeah.
They have to save face. Cameroon is looking for all ways to save face. So it's up to the Ambazonian people. It's up to our forces. It's up to our population. It's up to our activists. It's up to political movements and political leaders. Cameroon is done. Let us as a people mount a stiff resistance. The upcoming presidential and regional election, it's a monumental test on the Ambazonian people. Either they come on the negotiating table or they pivot. So we're at the crossroad. But Cameroon as a state, they are done. We've defeated them. They are looking for a way to save face.
Off-ramp, yeah.
So there are a lot of things going on diplomatically, squeezing, twisting, arm twisting for Cameroon to accept negotiations before the elections. What we have as a duty, as a people, as a responsibility as a people, is to make sure across the Ambazonia territory, our people do not fall into this trap to help Cameroon off-ramp, using Ambazonia as a staging ground for their propaganda. So we have a collective duty to be wise. In the face of our victory, we should show more resistance, more defiance. We should show more authority, more bravery, and more power. We all should rally around our forces. We all should support our forces. We all should be preparing for what's ahead. This is the time to take that which belongs to us. We have defeated Cameroon.
Yeah.
Let's take that which belongs to us. We're Ambazonians. And we should get ready to sit on the table with Cameroon and hammer it out and take back our land. So I want to thank you for all that you're doing. I love our interactions. I love our exchanges. You know, we pitch and catch. You know, we zig and we zag. You know, we pull and we push each other. You know, we challenge, debate each other. So it's great to see people working in teams. You know, coming out, doing the work together, and challenging each other, even publicly. Said, no. What about this? No, what about that? No, what about this? Right? This is how it's supposed to be. So that on an ongoing basis, we can elevate our people, inspire our people, and give our people a sense of hope. And we're doing great. So I just want to applaud Ground Zero. I want to applaud our children, applaud our mothers, applaud all Ambazonians across the 13 states for the stiff resistance and the victory they have achieved.
Thanks so much, Spokes. And before I close out, I just want to say this to Ambazonians. One of the biggest battles that Ambazonians ever fought, that we still have to write an epistle on that battle, the Battle of Kwakwa. That is the battle that redefined Ambazonian resistance. The Battle of Kwakwa. Spokes, I can tell you, I can attest. Fighters were going for weeks and coming back. The units that was under my control, they only come back and say, give us money for food. That's all we need. and they'll deliver and show you a pile upon pile of AKs that they have collected.
That's
Guns
right.
that they have collected. That battle will still write the epistle of the Battle of Kwakwa. That defined and turned. That was a turning point for Liberia to understand that they are not fighting babies. They are fighting a resistance. That battle has not been spoken much about. But that's where Liberia, that's when Ambazonians define themselves that they are warriors. We'll write an epistle on that battle. I thought about it.
We'll continue.
Yeah,
we'll continue to talk about it. For now,
thanks, man.
For now,
we
let's go.
So, fellow Ambazonians, and it's upon this note that we call it off a day. And I thank those who stayed back and listened. And we'll keep on fighting. We have just no outlet. We have this under control. It's in our court. We've matured to a point of not asking people to help us. We are helping ourselves. It is a tough battle. The president of the AGOFC always told us it's going to be a long, hard struggle. Some of us will die on the way. Some of us will carry the mantle till Ambazonia is free. We don't have time, is not our limitation. The end result is a free Ambazonia. We don't care how long it takes. This generation might come to pass. But one thing that this generation has left and won't leave is the freedom of Ambazonia. It will come by any means necessary. Stay the course. Don't you give up. Never give up. We are writing our history. This particular generation will end the carnage and pillage and the suffering of Ambazonian people. Never give up. The president of the AGOFC said it was going to be a long, hard struggle. We are cut out of that club, and Ambazonia will be free by any means necessary. Don't blink.
So, yes, Sebastian, you be big captain for Vigilante Group from the Norway since when? Yo, please, help me. I need to understand. What be they give on money for giving for you then from the Norway? No, where you? Talk. Who be they give on money?
Na been a good way the compensate for the service they will do for.
What service?
We will do for road for the guide caterpillar.
Now you be Vigilante Group captain.
You know we get a Vigilante group.
You been away.
I say you leader from the way.
Now you be the guard the caterpillar.
We know be the guard caterpillar. We will do for road. I didn't say no as the road day. Because we told say no fine say one caterpillar day for road. No, you know the. Because
when the guard road wait today for road. What you be there for road when I be the guard?
We the work being called stick them now for road. No, we make.
What be the pay when I want know a person where we they give for the money.
No, for year we will take money for give for year. But I know say Mr. Boris be commercial. If we can give them money.
Okay.
You talk to?
Why?
Okay. Mission for
that get very well.
Mission for commot for Kingsley. Time where they be locked it. Mission for commot for Kingsley. Come. I carry highway. Ikelebe because Ikelebe not be cash. That plan where you be go for brigade go here. Now we be leak Ikelebe for camp.
Yeah, good.
For camp.
Me I know rewards.
Quiet.
Me I know.
Quiet. Ma tell you the date. 21st December. 21st December. That was Saturday, right?
And equal
If you talk the 21st December 2024, was that Saturday?
all everything we government send them for me enter.
You did out. Take your calendar, check them.
I
need record. Okay. When I be enter, when I be catch a minute go there for Funkem.
For that night.
21st December 2024.
No, I talk the day where I be.
The day.
Yes,
That's
that day.
21st. Start from there. When I be catch a minute go there for Funkem.
They be catch. They be key one good. They catch two good.
Now what they be doing?
Now military.
You be there?
I be there.
Okay. I'm recording. Talk for Pigeon. We on Monday here. 21st December 2024, where you be the worker with the bed to St. Patrice. They be give you gun.
Yeah, they be give gun for me. They never get cartridge.
They never get cartridge?
Yes. If you get that this thing, now I will just hold up. So in the time when they come back, they take another, the bed is open up.
Okay. They be give you gun, right?
Yes.
They give you uniform. Uniform for army or uniform for which kind of uniform?
Yeah, for army.
Now uniform for army, eh?
Yes.
Okay. When I go catch how many civilian that day?
They go kill me for Funkem. Once they bring some 4 party.
Okay. 30th. The same December. 30th December. That was on Sunday. 2025. If you still hold on. 30th December. Well, when I go shoot go them before when I come back. When I shoot a mini got.
They will shoot the 2 good. They will shoot 2 good.
They catch how many?
They catch 1.
Okay. From there they go from our floor. And you feel Florence. They be catch how many got them on a pick.
They can catch 1 pick for friends.
The motive they be using for catch the pig now waiting.
They will send a photo and for us to the shrine.
They wanna be go or no be wanna.
I will do for road.
You be there for road.
Yes.
You be hold gun.
No, I know we hold gun that day.
If you wear uniform, if you wear the army uniform, what they be give one now?
Yes.
Now what they be give one the uniform?
Na army.
Na army, eh?
Yes.
For them, na Patrice or na Bertus?
Na Patrice.
Na Patrice. Patrice, he dey work for which camp?
I dey work for the war.
Le war?
Yes.
For Catholic mission at the Justice from Kwena. For David Shidon, no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Wait if you talk for Bertus and Patrice.
Yeah. Wait till I will tell them, I say, I be don't first talk for them. I say, when they take me the worker, they use my bike, so me and them be military. And you be don't learn for shoot gun. I don't learn for shoot gun. You carry me the worker, so they say, no, we my worker. Because Amba be ever they come, now we and them, they dream me go every day. So, and our village, this way they can't suffer, so we must do for it. All the time when they want come for your worker for push, my worker will be.
Okay. The same 2024, January, now you be captain for Vigilante Group.
Where is those Vigilante?
January 2024, where some incident for Caterpillar be happen from the Norway village. Now you be captain for Vigilante Group.
You've been a Vigilante Group.
But now you be leader?
Yes, I will be their president.
You will be their president?
Yes.
Okay, now what be the pay owner?
And I give them the bring money for.
Who be the supply the money from Chang?
Nah.
Is it not Boris? Boris now who for Chang?
And I saw president for Lekudu, they fix it.
Lekudu Chang branch from Chang branch president. Nai.
I don't really know if na Chang branch he did just come for a big man that they come to Chang.
But na member for Lekudu?
Yes, na member for Lekudu.
Okay. It be the same one how much?
For 2 weeks, we'll give you 40,000.
That is 1 week 10,000, 1 week 10,000. Okay. 24 July. Where Bertus be tell you say when I wait till they happen, you need to understand. It be send your voice. Saying material don't come. When I be receive the gun them from Chang.
No.
But when I receive gun them from Chang.
Maybe na Bertus be coming.
But I don't play the voice. You don't hear the voice. Na Bertus your voice.
Maybe na my phone that.
Maybe na your phone.
Yes, I'm the voice not coming for me. I don't recognize that voice. Anything I recognize, I'll tell you. I know.
Na Bertus your voice.
As I hear the voice, it show like saying Navet to the voice. Navet to the voice as I hear.
Okay.
Vous partez, s'il vous plaît. Élise.
Viens t'asseoir.
Restez là où vous êtes assis, je vais arriver là-bas. Vous appuyez quand vous parlez.
Shade no day, our voice will resound. Ambazonia's people will never back down. The chains are broken, the pain is gone. Freedom is ours, and a new day has dawned. Shade, no day, no day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shade, no day. Ambazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. From the rivers to the peaks, our strength will grow. The dreams of our forebears in us brightly glow. Our heroes, heroines, their fire still burns. We honor their fight with the justice we've earned. Shake, I win. No day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, no day. Ambazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. We are building today for the children to come. No more tears, no more sorrow for anyone. Our flag will rise high, its colors displaying. Ambazonia's bright future starts today. No day, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, no day. Ambazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. We'll shake off the fear and cast out the doubt. Our spirits will rise, there's no turning out. Freedom is our anthem, justice our creed. Shake, no day. With love we will lead. Shake, but that, no day. Rise to the day, the day, the day. Shake, no day. Ambazonia stands strong. We're marching forward where we belong. Shake, shake, no day, the future is bright. Ambazonia will shine like a beacon of light. With every heartbeat, our message will be sent. Shake, shake, no day, until the very end. The cruise boys sing.
Welcome to ACN.